let us agree that life is already too complicated, so we do not need to unnecessarily complicate our life anymore, especially when it comes to an exam like the IELTS exam. So I'm not going to waste your time or complicate your life. I'm going to tell you what you need to do for the processes in IELTS Writing Task 1, the academic module. So hey, welcome back to Everything IELTS, the series where I help you achieve your target IELTS band score. And this is Huyền, your favorite IELTS trainer. And as usual, I would highly recommend you use my website, practicenight.co, to practice for the IELTS exam with free tests, free tips, and web apps. Check it out, practicenight.co. Okay, let's start our video today. I'm going to tell you what you need to do for the processes in IELTS Writing Task 1, the academic module. So what is a process in IELTS Writing Task 1, the academic module? A process is an illustration that looks like this or this. So in order to have a good report for a process, you have three things to do. The first thing is to describe everything that is presented in the process. Unlike the graph in which you are supposed to describe the most significant features in the processes, you need to describe everything. Because in a process, everything is connected. You have step 1 leading to step 2, which leads to step 3, so on and so forth. Which is why if you miss one step, the process doesn't make sense anymore. And that leads to the second point to have a good report for a process. You have to make sure that your report is logical. It should go from the first step to the last step efficiently. Whenever I teach my clients to write a report for a process, I often tell them to think about the situation in which the examiner doesn't have the illustration, meaning that the report is the only thing that is related to that process that the examiner has. So make sure that whether or not the person has the process of the illustration in hand, they still understand what the process is about and they can still easily follow the flow of the steps just by reading your report. And in order to do that, we have point 3 for what you need to do in the report for the process, which is following the nature of the process. There are 3 common types of processes in IELTS Writing Task 1. Natural process, artificial process, and cycle. Sometimes we also have a mix of both natural and artificial in a process. A natural process or a natural step is when things happen by themselves. For example, rain falling from the sky or water flowing from point 1 to point B. An artificial process or an artificial step is when things happen under the control of something else. And the third type is a cycle. The cycle is a process where the first step and the last step is one. And the cycle can be artificial, can be natural, or can be both. Identifying the kind of process you are dealing with is the very first step for you to be successful in writing a report. Because depending on different kinds of processes, you're going to use different grammar and to another extent, you're going to use different vocabulary. In a natural process, because things happen by themselves, so you can use the active voice to describe the steps in the process. But in an artificial process, because things don't happen by themselves, they need an external force to happen, which is why you are going to use mainly the passive voice to describe the steps. The vocabulary is normally already given in the illustrations, but you need to make sure that you understand if the word is a verb or a noun. Because if the word is a verb and this is an artificial process, you need to put that verb in the passive voice to describe, right? But if the word is a noun, things will be different. So the cycle follows the exact same thing that I just talked about natural and artificial processes, but there's one thing that you need to pay attention to: the last sentence of the report. The last sentence of a report for a cycle is where you present the nature of this process by saying that the process restarts from this point. And this is a must. By understanding the concept of processes in IELTS Writing Task 1, the academic module, you will understand what you need to do to put in the best effort to get the best report based on your ability and based on your understanding. Follow through with my account and I will tell you more about this in other videos. For now, use what you have learned and practice for free on practicenight.co. I'll see you there. For now, you have fun learning. Bye.